Odunayo was the only daughter of her parents. She was given birth to when her parents were almost giving up, hence the name Odunayo, which means the year of joy in the Yoruba language. Indeed, the year she was born was the year of joy, as 2 months after her birth, her father was promoted at work and her mother's business picked up after winning a business contract. They believed their daughter had brought them good luck, and for that reason, they treasured her more than gold. Odunayo was indeed a priceless jewel, as she made her parents proud at all times. She excelled in all her academics, always winning prizes, and even in sports, she was not left out. The news of her winning the spelling bee organized by the state government was a celebrated news, even on TV and on newspaper. Her school, Unity Primary School, was so proud of her for bringing honor to their school. She was loved by everyone in the school for her good conduct and academic excellence. When it was time for her to write her final exams, she prepared as if her life depended on it. And when the results were out, she was the second best in the state, and she was given a full scholarship to the prestigious Our Lady's Model College, which was regarded as the best girls' school in the state. The school had produced very notable and reputable females in the society who were now successful in their respective careers. Our Lady's Model College was not just a school for anybody, it was a school for a selected few, and this made the admission process very competitive. Odunayo's parents were so happy that their daughter was going to such a reputable school. The only thing that made them sad was the fact that she was leaving them for the first time to live in a dormitory. And the day she was leaving for school, her mother broke down in tears as she watched her daughter drag her box. Odunayo came back and hugged her mom. "Please, mommy, don't cry. I know exactly how you feel, but I will only be gone for a few months. Do not worry, I'll be fine." Those words gave her mom some kind of consolation. As her father was driving her to school, he took his time to advise her, "Odunayo, my daughter, you have always brought us so much joy and happiness. Going to Our Lady's Model College is a thing of honor, and we are proud of you. Please maintain your good behavior and do not forget the daughter of whom you are." When she got to school, her father helped her through her clearance process. There were only 5 girls on scholarship, and so they were given preference. She was admitted to Dormitory 4, popularly called Dorm 4. Dorm 4 was notorious for bullying and intimidation. It had especially rich kids who have been spoiled with the good things of life. Their leader was Kofo Adams, the daughter of a popular politician. She was in SS3 and was very ruthless. Popularly known as Senior Kofo, it is often said that the fear of Senior Kofo is the beginning of wisdom. She was feared by even her mates. She had a gang of girls who terrorized not only Dorm 4 but the whole school. As Odunayo settled into Dorm 4, it didn't take long for her to feel the weight of being an outsider. The girls, especially those from wealthy families, eyed her with suspicion, envy smearing beneath their stares. Senior Kofo, the leader of Dorm 4, was notorious for her cruelty. With her sharp tongue and powerful connections, she ruled not just the dorm but the school. Kofo's clique, known as the Pink Berets, was a feared group of girls who terrorized the less privileged students. They believed that their wealth made them untouchable. Odunayo's brilliance in academics quickly caught everyone's attention. She consistently topped every subject, impressing even the teachers. During sport trials, her athleticism also shone through, whether it was on the track, in basketball, or in the debate team. However, Her achievements only fueled the resentment of those around her, particularly Senior Kofo. Kofo had always been the queen bee, and she saw Odunayo's rise as a threat. One afternoon, as Odunayo was studying alone in the library, Kofo and her gang of pink berets cornered her. "So the little genius thinks she can come here and outshine us." Kofo sneered, her eyes filled with malice. "I've been watching you, Odunayo. You are trying too hard to impress." Odunayo swallowed hard but stood her ground. "I'm just here to study, Senior Kofo. I don't want any trouble." Kofo's laugh echoed in the silent library. "Oh, but you're in trouble now. You don't get to be this good without consequences. Join the Pink Berets. We could use someone like you." Odunayo was taken aback. She had heard about the Pink Berets, their influence, and their penchant for causing chaos. The thought of aligning herself with them went against everything she believed in. She shook her head. "I'm not interested." Kofo's face darkened. "Nobody says no to me, Odunayo. Remember that." Odunayo froze. She didn't know what to say. When she got back to the dormitory, she told some of her friends about her ordeal with Senior Kofo. Instantly, they decided to avoid her so that they too don't get into trouble. From that day, Kofo made it her mission to break Odunayo's spirit. The bullying escalated. Her belongings would mysteriously go missing. Rumors were spread about her being a teacher's pet, and she was often left out of group activities, but Odunayo remained resolute. Her parents' words echoed in her mind. "Do not forget the daughter of whom you are." One day, Odunayo came back from school very hungry and decided to have cereal. When she got close, she noticed her wardrobe had been broken and all her provisions stolen, with a note beside it. "This is just the beginning." She became very teary and confused. She knew those that were responsible, but yet she couldn't report them. As the intersport was getting close, all the girls intensified their practice and training. Odunayo participated in several sports and did well in all. Before then, Ada, one of the members of the Pink Berets, used to be the fastest girl in the school track games, and it was part of the bragging rights of the Pink Berets, so they couldn't sit back and watch Odunayo steal their shine. During one of their meetings at night, Ada complained seriously about Odunayo. "She runs faster than I do, and I've tried my best, but I can't meet up with her pace. That girl runs faster than a cheetah, and it will be insulting for me to lose to her," Ada said. Kofo sighed. "You will remain the champion, don't worry. I know what to do." On the day of the inter-sports, Odunayo represented her house in the 400-meter relay. She had trained hard for this moment. However, Kofo and her girls, who were jealous of the attention Odunayo received, plotted to sabotage her. Just before the race, they deceived her into an empty classroom and locked her there, hoping she would miss the event. The keys were handed over to Kofo. She smiled. "Let me see how she will win," she said. As the minutes tickled by, panic set in. Odunayo banged on the door, calling for help, but no one heard her. With determination, she looked around the room and found a window that wasn't locked. It was high, but she was athletic. Climbing onto a desk, she managed to squeeze through the narrow gap and sprinted to the track just in time for her race. Despite the exhaustion from her ordeal, Odunayo's spirit was unbroken. Just as they were about to mention her name, she appeared. Ada was surprised. She immediately became nervous. "I thought Kofo said she would handle this," she thought to herself. Odunayo ran with everything she had, leading her house to victory. The entire school cheered her on, and for a brief moment, Kofo's grip on the school flattened. Everyone has seen how Odunayo overcame the odds. Ada came a distant second. She couldn't deal with the shame. This is a slap on the face of the pink berets, Kofo said. After the race, Kofo confronted her again, setting with anger. "You should have stayed locked up," she hissed. "I'll make life miserable for you, trust me." Odunayo, catching her breath, looked her straight in the eyes. "You can try to hold me back, but I won't stop. I know who I am." Her words even made her angrier. Kofo made sure Odunayo was not seen in the library, neither did she allow her to attend preps at night. "If she doesn't have time to read, let me see how she will do well in her academics." True to her words, Odunayo's performance dropped. Odunayo wept bitterly when she saw her grades, and the girls laughed at her. Mrs. Adeyemi, her class teacher, noticed and called her for a discussion. Odunayo, scared to mention names, just told her that she wasn't allowed to read again in the library. Mrs. Adeyemi knew exactly what was happening, and she knew she couldn't fight them because of their parents' influence. Eager to help her, she asked Odunayo to come to her house at the staff quarters to read. Members of the Pink Beret noticed that Odunayo had started doing well again, academically. So they made their findings and realized that Mrs. Adeyemi was the one helping her. One day, Mrs. Adeyemi came back from school to discover that all the birds in her small poultry at home were all dead. And there was a note left behind which read, "Next time, learn to mind your business." Mrs. Adeyemi felt very pained, but still didn't give up. She was determined to see Odunayo reach her full potentials. Kofo's frustration grew, knowing that her efforts to frustrate Odunayo was not yielding results. One day, as the Pink Berets were having their meeting in the middle of the night, they decided enough was enough. Since that little witch came to this school, things have changed. People don't fear or respect us like before. Imagine coming to win most of the prizes in this school. We can't allow that happen. One of the girls asked, "But we have done several things to her and yet she keeps coming out even stronger." Kofo said, "Then I feel it is high time we put a definite stop to this madness. Since she wants to show she's a genius, then we'll show her too that the Pink Berets have never lost a fight." The other girls chorused, "Yes, so." Kofo said, "I feel we should apply Code 7 for her. The same thing we did to Abigail 1 year ago." Abigail was a girl that was loved, just like Odunayo. She stood against the atrocity of Kofo and her gang. All the junior students loved her because she fought against bullying and intimidation. One day, she had a confrontation with Kofo over the way she treated some juniors. It resulted into a physical fight, and Abigail beat her up very well. All the juniors hailed her and celebrated their heroine, and Kofo felt very ashamed. That period, she lost grip of Dom 4, as she didn't even have the guts to send anyone on errand or punish anyone. But a month after the incidents, Abigail died in her sleep after complaining of stomachache that night. The whole school was thrown into mourning, especially junior students, who instantly knew that their days of suffering and intimidation was back with the demise of Senior Abigail. A candlelight procession was done in her honor. Many fingers pointed to Kofo and her girls, but there was no concrete evidence, so it all ended as rumors. One of the Pink Berets was the food prefect, and Kofo had given her a special poison to put in Abigail's meal. The poison was special because it killed fast and the traces disappeared after 12 hours, so it couldn't be detected during autopsy. Kofo handed the poison to the food prefect. "Please apply it to the food you give to Odunayo. This will silence her forever." And the girls laughed at their plan. 2 nights after, the food prefect did as she was instructed. She gave the food to Odunayo. But the dining room was full, without an empty seat, so she took the food to her room to eat. Few hours later, there was a cry for help. All the girls in Dorm 4 rushed in to see Odunayo on the floor. "What is the problem?" they asked. "I've been having serious pains in my tummy." She continued to wriggle in pain. When it became unbearable, they reported to their mistress. Immediately, she was rushed to the school clinic, who later referred her to a better and bigger hospital in town. For 2 days, nothing was heard from Odunayo. Her classmates were scared. They held prayer sessions for her. On the third night, Kofo and her girls gathered to celebrate their win. "I told you this will work out. Our little witch has gone to join our ancestors," they all laughed. "We rule this school and no one can take that from us." Immediately they heard a voice from a megaphone. "You have been surrounded by the police. Do not try to escape." The police, led by the no-nonsense Inspector Ali, stepped out. Immediately the girls saw Inspector Ali. They started shivering because he had a reputation of handling high-profile cases and was known never to compromise. They were in company of a girl called Bimpe alongside the principal and top officials of the school. They asked Bimpe to narrate the story she told them again. Bimpe said on that fateful day, as she was coming back from prep, she decided to pass the bush path back to her hostel. She was surprised to hear voices, then she decided to hide and listen to their conversations. She told everyone all she heard, how they killed Senior Abigail and planned to kill Odunayo too. She said on the day they gave Odunayo that food, she had followed her back to her room and stopped her from eating the food, telling her the plans of Kofo and her girls. She only told Odunayo to pretend to be in pains for her own safety. The girls were surprised and nervous. Inspector Ali arrested all the girls. At the police station, Kofo confessed that she got the poison from her father's wardrobe and that he uses it for his political enemies. Her father was brought in for questioning too. When the news got out, people were shocked. They were immediately expelled from Our Lady's Model School. They will be tried for the murder of Abigail Afolabi, Inspector Ali said. The story of Kofo and her girls went round the town for how they allowed jealousy and envy ruin their lives. Odunayo came back to school and thanked Bimpe for saving her life. Normalcy was restored to Dorm 4, and Odunayo continued to excel in academics and sport activities in school. If you enjoyed this story, please do well to subscribe to our channel, like, share, and turn on the notification bell.